Hey, welcome to 209coach.com. I want to do a video here for you today on the student before and after. And I know a lot of you out there working with students or working with your child have back drag. And this video right here is going to help you tremendously on how to fix back drag. Okay, so let's get started. Now, the first thing I want to show you here is the student of mine. This was before a couple months ago and after on the right. This is like, I believe, the third time I work with her, and she had back drag. I'm going to show you this in the video on the left, the before and the after on the right, what's going on and what I did. And hopefully this video tutorial on back drag will help you to help your child or anybody you're working with, okay? Now, the thing that I want to just what I do with every student, the setup is so crucial and sometimes overlooked. Okay, you can see here on this one right here, when she first got here, her hands were way beyond her back shoulder. Okay, here I told her, let's get the hands between the neck and the deltoid. Let's get very relaxed with the arms. Okay, so what you really want to do, if you look at the best hitters in the world, whether it be men or women, they're going to have a lot of flexion in their arms like this. Okay, they're going to be very relaxed. The bat's going to be pretty much very vertical. Okay, and right here you can see on the left, when she first got here, she had hardly any flexion at all on her arms. Her hands were behind and her bat was already tilted back. This is almost what you want to see at the toe touch position. This would be a very acceptable toe touch position, but we're not at the toe touch. Right now, we are at the setup. So again, I told her, let's get very relaxed with the arms. Let's get a vertical bat, and let's just get everything where you feel very comfortable, okay? So that's what she's doing on the right. She looks very, very comfortable. Another thing that I did was when she first got here, if we draw a line right here behind her back hip, and I'll draw a line right here behind her back hip right here as well, you're going to see here as you get into the swing, watch what's going on here. On the left hand side, what she was doing was she was shifting with her hips going towards the catcher. Okay, you can see here, watch on the left, she's shifting. This is really important. Now, as you start to lift the front foot, immediately what you want to do is you want to get your back tailbone to work towards the pitcher as you're applying pullback. Okay, and you can see here, again, it's very obvious that on the left, what she was doing was she was gliding very much towards the catcher, adding these extra frames. As you get to more elite pitching, it's going to add more frames, therefore it's going to be harder for you to time pitchers that are very elite. Now, if we look here on the right hand side, watch what's going on. I told her, let's get your tailbone to coil very well. In other words, I wanted her tailbone to start working towards the pitcher immediately as she starts to apply the pullback, as she starts to apply a palm down with her top hand as she gets into her gather of her swing. So watch what's going on right here. As you can see here, watch the difference, what's going on in both these swings. So right here, you can see here, what's going on is very obvious. You can see here that when she first started working with me, that her body had shifted pretty much to here, going towards the catcher, and here what she did was she was shifting this way, going towards the pitcher. Okay, so this shows me that she's getting a lot of coil in her back leg, her back hip. Okay, everything is just working more towards the pitcher. It's getting a lot of coil, and that's what you want. Now, it's really important, again, if you want to fix back drag, everything starts with simple things like this. Sometimes people ignore all this stuff and they don't think it's important, but trust me, it's the beginning of getting the back drag fixed. Okay, so again, you want to not only coil the back hip, okay, you don't want to get it working towards the catcher. You want it working where you're loading, feels like you're loading the back hip, loading the back leg. Okay, simultaneously, watch what's going on the right. As she starts to swing, watch what's going on. She's coiling the hip, and watch how her palm goes. Okay, now watch this. Watch her palm goes from facing the pitcher. Okay, this palm is facing the pitcher. Now it goes from a vertical bat and her palm facing the pitcher. This is going to help you with bat drag. And again, it goes from that to watch what's going on. She starts to coil the hips, and as she starts to get into the pullback, watch how her back elbow works back and behind her. This is a cause and effect by the top hand pulling back. And watch what's going on with the bat. The bat went from a vertical position to a beautiful, beautiful slanted position like this. Now look at this. This looks very elite right here, okay? Now she went from a lot of flexion to very slight flexion. This is what you see with the best hitters in the world. She had the shoulder to shoulder to elbow look. Her hips right here, like I said, they went from being kind of working in a position like this where she's working, where her hips are working towards the pitcher. Okay, that's what you want. You want your tailbone to work this way. In other words, this is going to coil your back hip. What she's doing with her upper body is going to allow her to have a tremendous coil in not only her upper body, but also in her lower body. Again, you want to load the back side. So if you're working with your student, you're working with a child, over and over, have them just get to the place where they start just like this, okay? Start just like this, and then again, look on the right as they're coiling the hip, the top hand, very subtle move with the top hand works back and behind you. That's going to allow the bat, you want to feel like the palm is facing downward, okay? You see how she is here? Watch how the palm now is facing downward, okay? That's what you want, okay? So she went from the left, okay, you can see here at this stage of the swing, her palm is kind of facing in this way right here, okay? And again, what happened on the left when she first got here, and I'll show you very quickly, we'll just kind of go through her swing so you can kind of see what was going on. You can see here when she first got here, pay attention to her bat, okay? And this is, again, what causes bat drag. Very prevalent, very, very, very common in players that have bat drag. As they start to get into their toe touch, watch the angle of the bat. As she starts to get into her toe touch, just pay attention to the left. See how the bat is casting. She's losing all that power. She's unhinging the bat instead of hinging it. So now her bat is vertical, which is going to cause her to have bat drag, okay? So again, as we go a little further, pay attention to the left. Look at her back elbow. Watch what's going on. Maybe you see this with your child. All of a sudden you see this going on with the swing where the elbow is literally creeping underneath her just like this, okay? You can just see the elbow creeping in front of her hands, okay? Where you can see here on the left, it's very obvious that her back elbow is behind her, okay? And her hands right now are right here. So she's doing a beautiful job right here on the right because of everything that we worked on to eliminating all the bat drag, okay? So again, it's just very important to understand that everything that I'm sharing with you right now, it all started with the setup, okay? It starts with a very relaxed, a lot of flexion on the arms. Again, look on the right-hand side. You can see here as she starts to get into her swing, the hips are coiling, she's pulling back, the palm is going from being straight up facing the pitcher to working downward, okay? You're feeling like you're coiling the back side, coiling the back leg. You want to stay back. You want to feel like everything, the feeling you want to have is almost like 90% of your weight's in the back, okay? It's more of like a feeling, but when you're actually swinging, you're not actually doing that. So right here, I even asked her, what are you feeling? She says, I feel like everything is kind of on my back. Like she's, she felt very loaded on her back leg, her back hip. And you can see here, she looks very balanced. So it's more of a feeling than a look, but you want to feel like you're coiling the back hip, coiling the upper body, okay? And again, you want to make sure that when you're swinging, that you want to do it simultaneously. Tailbone works towards the pitcher, and your top hand works down like you're spilling a cup. Watch your top hand. It's like she's spilling a cup, okay? Now, you want to maintain the pullback, okay? If you want to eliminate bat drag, you want to maintain the pullback. Maintain it all the way up to heel plant. So again, if you look on the left-hand side, like I said, you can tell she's releasing the bat, and you can see here now, pay attention to the left. Again, like I said, look how the bat kind of drags through. Her elbow is leading the hands, elbows leading the hands. Again, if you look on the right, you can see that it's very obvious that her back elbow was way behind her hands, okay? That's because of what I just mentioned to you. So again, just work on this over and over and over. Work on just applying the sequence correctly. And by sequence, I mean this, that the hips are coiling and the top hand is just working back and behind you. It's not anything abrupt where you can see the palm. You want to feel like your palm is kind of facing downward like this, okay? Do this with your students. Stop at toe touch. Make sure that the palm is facing downward, okay? Make sure that the bat is about a 45-degree angle. Make sure that the hips are working towards the pitcher, okay? Just do this over and over. Get the feeling of doing this, okay? That's going to start to ingrain what you need to do in order to get rid of bat drag. Now again, It's very important to maintain the pullback. Now as we go further, watch what's going on here. As she starts to get into her swing, the back elbow stays behind her, and you can see here now at this stage of the swing, you can see that that bat, everything's kind of going to be dragging through the swing. Okay, and that's what she was doing. She was hitting a lot of weak shots when she first came to me, a lot of flare shots, nothing with a lot of pop at all. Okay, and here you can see here that the bat, okay, so starting to work behind her. Okay, starting to work behind her, and it's really important to do that. The bat should work behind you again as you're swinging here. Watch how the bat is right here, okay? You want to feel like you're hitting from back here, like everything is, you're working from back here, you're hitting from back here, all right? That's what you want to do. You want to feel like everything you're hitting, you're staying back, all right? So it's really important that you're almost feeling like you're staying back so your bat works more like a roller coaster. That's what you want to have, the feeling of your bat kind of working like a roller coaster, like your body's almost tilting back, okay? You want to feel like you're hitting from the back hip, from the back side, okay? And then another thing that's really important, and this is something that I don't see enough of, okay, is when you're working, okay, pay attention to what's going on right here. And we'll back this up just a little bit right here. Again, it goes from a palm down, okay, like I just meant, look on the right-hand side, palm down, and immediately you can see that her palm is starting to work upward, okay? So as she gets into her heel plant, her hip rotation, as her back hip is kind of, like I said, thrusting kind of like from the back side, you go from a palm down to a palm up immediately, okay? You can see this. It's very obvious here that her palm is facing upward like this, okay? Immediately, and her palm is facing up. Okay, and this is a really good drill for you to do, and just do this very slowly and methodically, okay? If you can't do it, you can't do it fast at first, because when you're having bat drag, you want to make sure you do everything slowly and methodically. So as you're getting your swing over and over, I would just repeat this swing right here. Go from here to there, over and over, so you can see that the bat is behind you. So you see how the palm is facing down. And again, this is not in real speed, it's slow motion, but this move happens so quickly and so immediately where the palm is working up. Now on this one right here, you can see that kind of her palm is going this way, but the problem is because her arm, her elbow is kind of leading the swing, the bat is kind of, like I said, it's going to be kind of dragging through the zone, okay? There's not going to be any pop to that. There's not going to be any power to that. So when you're working with your student or child, just do this drill over and over. You want to, again, be coiling the hips. You want to make sure that you're going, again, from a setup position like this. You're coiling the hips. You're going from a palm down as you get into toe touch, and immediately as you get into your heel plant, you want to get the palm up, okay? That's going to allow your bat to have bat speed behind you. Look at that. The bat speed is staying behind her. That's what you want. And then from there, you want the lead elbow to work up to the height of the mouth immediately with the barrel below the hands, okay? You want to have the lead elbow work up to the height of the mouth. And right here, she's in a very powerful position right here. You can see here she's hitting off a front axis right here. And this one right here, you can see here she was kind of doing a little bit of a jackknife little swing. She wasn't really hitting with any power when she first got here on the left. She was just struggling again with hitting with a lot of power, and again having a lot of bat drag on every one of her swings. And then again, as you can see here, as she continues to swing, look how, because of the momentum of her swing, look how she releases that bat in a beautiful orbit behind her. On the left, she was kind of putting on the brakes because she was hitting more with her arms. Now with on the right, because of everything she was doing as far as loading the hips, loading the upper body, and as she was doing this, she felt like she was just really coiled up and able to explode through the ball. Now, I hope you give me a like for this video. And again, the key to the getting rid of the bat drag, again, is you've got to coil the hips. You got to coil the upper body, okay? And it's a very subtle move of the top hand. You got to go to palm down. Again, get the palm down to toe touch, and then just pause right there and check to see if you have this position. As you're getting into heel plant, check and pause this position. Is your palm, when it's right there by the deltoid, is it facing up? Okay, is it facing up? Do you feel the bat just literally the speed behind you? Okay, you should feel it behind you, not going across your body. Again, and as I erase this, watch this, and I'm just going to show you what's going on here. Watch her bat, how the bat speed is behind her right here, stays behind her, stays behind her, stays behind her. You see that? And this right here is going to allow you to face very elite pitchers, because even if the ball kind of gets deep on you right here, the bat can still, at this beam back here, you still have an opportunity to hit the ball the opposite field, hit it with a lot of power, okay? When you're doing this bat drag like this, your bat kind of drags through the zone, and this is why players hit a lot of flare shots and hit a lot of weak shots, because the bat is not working kind of in an orbit behind you, it's working more in an area where it's kind of dragging through, okay? So again, this video right here, I hope it helps you. Please give me a like. If you have any questions, please let me know. I hope you liked it. You guys have a wonderful day. Thank you.